It is the 24th of November. Tomorrow's payday. Yay! It is 2 o'clock in England on a Monday, and it is so dark outside. It is miserable weather, although it's warmed up because it has been 0 degrees all morning. So yeah, quite tropical right now at our 7 degrees that we've got. Anyhow, my name's Lucy and I'm from Gainsborough, Lincolnshire, which is a market town here based in England. I am better known as Lucy from So Pretty So Mindful. That is my business name. And I have my own creative wellness hub here in Gainsborough where I teach from. I teach sewing, all things sewing, bag making, dressmaking, quilting. We run a number of clubs. I'm looking at Hannah because she comes with me every day. That's my dog, my golden retriever. And I am a guest designer on Sewing Street TV with my bag designs and some quilts I do occasionally. And I love to sew. However, I am not here to talk about sewing. I'm here to talk about the knitting. And I have recently started coming back here again to talk about my knitting to help me stay on track with my plans. I am a planner. I am one of those annoying people. And I like to share what I'm up to and what's going on in the world. So if that sounds like your cozy cup of tea, stay with me. Remember to like and subscribe as always. You can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, aren't I, Hannah? I am. But all that information will be down in the description box. So it's going to be a traditional format today. I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing, what I've made, what I'm working on, and plans for the future. So let's head right in. Now, I don't expect it to be a long video today because I am so fixed on what I'm working on. It's really difficult actually because at the minute it is that time of the year when we have got events going on all over the country, and I like to go to one called Knit and Stitch at Harrogate. Go there every year, but this year I have not gone. I made a 2025 goal to myself that I wouldn't go to any sewing shows, but Knit and Stitch is very woolly focused. But I did not go. I even got offered a free ticket and coach ride. Can you believe it? And I still said no. And that is because I have no restraint. I say I've got no restraint. I'm being quite hard on myself. When I go, I get carried away and I want to buy all the things. And I do buy all of the things. So my restraint is actually not going because I know that that is my weakness. It wouldn't be such an issue if I wasn't such an organised and planner. But I do have a plan. I have a plan that gets me up to the end of December and through to January, which we're going to talk about today. And I like to stay focused on that. I don't like to deviate too far because if I deviate, I'm going to start abandoning some of this other stuff that's in here. If you can hear the noise, Hannah is having the greatest time in front of me. She's playing a game of socks. She does like socks. She's looking at me now to say, what? Why are you telling everybody about me? She's got her pheasant out, which is a scraggly piece of rag, really. She's burying her bed, which she will not get into. And she's having the best time. Anyway. So the point of the story is I didn't go. I didn't go to Harrogate. I didn't buy all the things. Although there was a purchase made. I must come back to that. So let's start with what I'm wearing. Well, this is the first day out for this one. This is the Coffee Run Sweater by Kuta Rakika. It's in her book Knits to Wear. I think I showed it last time, and I've knit it up in black yarn Guernsey 5-ply. It's undyed yarn. And this is the first time. It was only washed and blocked yesterday. This little bobble here is because I didn't block it properly. I was speed blocking. But it looks absolutely fine. I've got some photos I can quickly pop in. But I'm not going to talk about this too much because I've done a whole project video all about this sweater that I really want to share with you. So if you head along to my videos, you should see it there where I talk all about this sweater in a little bit more detail. So please do consider going and have a look at that. So I'm going to move straight on into finished objects. Ta-da! This is it. There is one other finished object that I've done, which again, I can't show you. How annoying. But do you remember in the last video, I said I was going to be making a gift for my friend for Christmas? Well, I did make that gift for her already. It's been washed and blocked. And I would love to know where the safe place is that I've put it. So that's a bugger, isn't it? So it is somewhere though. It is nice and safe.
Wow. Oh man, that's exciting to see. Blimey, you have to get the zoomies. Hello. It is such a lovely welcome, isn't it? Yeah.
She's a good girl. Dad is home.
Got a sock. Oh.
Where was I? The husband's just come in from work. Hannah's gone mental, so I had to stop recording. And then you saw what she's like. She kind of does a woo 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 thing, and she gets all excited. She's just happy to see her daddy. So hopefully you'll have seen some video footage there of her. She is adorable. So that's my finished objects, my sweater and the gift, which I still can't show you. So it's more a case of the whips and what I've been up to. So let me start at the beginning of November. Was it November or was it October? Stephen West did his musicale, didn't he? Did I mention it in the last video? I can't remember. And I decided I would do it with two of my friends, Anthony and Eloise. Hi, if you're watching. And Eloise, I'm sure I showed you, dyed me the wool just for this knit. They were the colours, absolutely stunning. So week one came out, and we all settled down to do the week one clue. Oh my God. I worked so hard on this and my brain couldn't kind of do it. I eventually got through the first scallop, and when I moved on to the second scallop, and I just found it painfully slow. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. I did struggle with it, and I knew that had I had no other obligations and that's the only thing I had to focus on, I would have managed it. But I was finding it very time intense for me, and I was feeling the pressure of that. So after, was it 2 weeks? Can't remember now. I just kind of reassessed, and I realised it actually wasn't making me happy. I started recording the process, but it wasn't making me happy, and I just thought, this is crazy. I had a plan of the shawl I wanted to make by Christmas. It wasn't on the needles. I hadn't started it, and I just thought, it's a shame for this yarn, but there's a better purpose for this later on. So I decided to put it to bed, move on, and actually cast on the shawl that was always intended. I will show you a little bit of it. I've done it twice actually. I've got another set upstairs, but this was a little bit of it. So the colours are really nice. I know that I like the colours. I didn't want to take on the brioche, which is this section here. There's some really interesting details in that. But I also had mixed views about how it was coming out, because obviously I was part of the chat groups, things like that. And I just wasn't loving what people were producing. So I've obviously opted out, and Eloise carried on, as did Anthony, and Eloise got to the finish line first. And I have to say, hers does look absolutely stunning, but it's a work of art. And I'm not sure I wanted a work of art. I wanted something that's very me and very practical. And I do think that what I decided to work on instead fulfilled that much more, which is the Op Art quilt, which was a kit that I bought from Blacker Yarn, the same people that I got this yarn from. So that is what I will show you next. So I decided to make a little bag out of this cord. I thought I'd make a really cute little project bag out of one of my orphan blocks. So sometimes in my sewn, when I'm practicing or teaching something, I get left with these like little blocks of something that I just pop onto a pile, and then one day I find a use for them. And on this particular day, I was teaching somebody how to do this block here out of really beautiful fabrics. So I made it on the Gemini here, and then I thought, well, I'll just pop it all together, put these lovely eyelets in and make a little bag just for the op art quilt. You needed 3 skeins for this knit. I can't remember the names of the colours, I'm afraid, but I can show you that these are they. That's a very neutral sort of greyish colour, and that's quite a plummy with undertones of brown in it. Very, very rustic, thick. It does feel a bit like this did, a little bit more sort of rough, but I've got every confidence it's going to soften just like this did when it went through the wash. So it's a shawl where you start at one end and you have I-cord edge all the way up, and it's got a wingspan of only over 2 meters when it's done. Yeah, 208 centimeters. So you've got 2 schematics, and you can choose whether you just want to stick to doing one colour like so, or this one here, and this is the one that I've done. So you start here and you finish here, and I'm currently about here. So I'm a long way through, and I've really, really enjoyed it. It has got old lace shale patterning in it. I think that's what, yeah, old shale lace, yeah, that's what it's called. And it's been relatively trouble-free for me. That's probably a closer interpretation of the one that I am making. You're basically working off a chart A, which looks incredibly busy, and you'll work that chart over and over and over again. So this is where I am at. Let me turn it around. It's not going to all show on screen, but you'll get the idea. Oh, tangle, tangle, tangle. There. So you can see the old shale there, and that's actually all down here as well. So you start off down here just doing a garter stitch. So that's our starting point here. You're doing your I-cord on both edges all of the time. Then you've got a long section from here all the way up to here in old lace shale in just one colour, and then you switch to your 2 colours and you repeat the chart twice more. And then as we go up, cable's getting a bit challenged there, and as we go up I'll go back to that brownie aubergine colour and we'll do a little bit more so it's like a sliding triangle. So I will probably work on that quite hard. I'd like that done quite soon now. I mean, when I say I'd like it definitely done by Christmas, it's going to be done well and truly before then. I'd love to see that done in the next 2 weeks. That would be my aim, which would take me up to the beginning, first week of December, isn't it? And I think that's achievable. So that is the Op Art shawl from Blacker Yarns. My next work in progress is the Ingrid sweater for my dad. So Dad, if you're watching right about now, just for a few minutes, please. He knows the aggravation with this already. It's had to be washed and blocked, and it's had to be pulled back. So this is it. We're all in a tangle. I started the neckline, but the neckline is back onto barber cord, unfinished right now, because I needed the pins in a rush. This is the sweater, made and blocked. All that was done beautifully. The hem was all done. I did the surprisingly stretchy bind off. It looked absolutely gorgeous. And then the realization that it was about that much too short. I mean, that's about 5 inches. 5 inches? 5 inches too short. There was no getting away from it. It had to be pulled back. So that's all been pulled back now. Curly whirly yarn. I have gone back in and done my 2 rounds of garter ridges, ready to do some repeat. I think I'm going to do all of this section here again at the bottom. Then I'm going to do my ribbing for the hem and cast off again. Then I'm going to go back to the neckline, which I'm just at the fold over. So I've knitted it already. There's my fold over edge. So now I've just got to go inside and just finish it off. Like I say, that had to come off because I needed the pins in a rush to do this, because I can't lie, somebody offered to do it for me. And you don't turn a gift horse, do you? So that still needs doing for Christmas. It will be done. I just need to dedicate some serious time to it now. I am thinking that that will dominate my knitting right now, and interspersed with the op-art shawl. What I tend to do with the shawl is it's an 8-row repeat. I tend to just treat myself to 8 rows and then come back to that because it just kind of freshens things up, I suppose. So I'm not worried about finishing the sweater. When I go to do the sleeves, I actually think that's going to get done quite quickly. Then I am at the point where the Christmas knitting is done. All that I've got left really is the green coffee run sweater. And this is my mum's. And I would like this done if I can for her birthday, which is the 5th of January. Bearing in mind these 2 sleeves I got done in under a week. Again, what I'll do when I know that I'm on the homeward stretch with the Ingrid sweater, I will pick this up and this will be my sort of 8 o'clock at night. I'm feeling a bit tired because you're just knitting around and I won't worry about it and that will get done. So again, I'm not worried about this one and I am going to have a little bit of time off over Christmas. So all of that then takes me to what's left for 2025, and that is this Dahlia sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. I was selected to be part of the test knit for this. It was, I think it was a 3-month window. It needs to be done by the end of January, and watching everybody getting on with this has been quite painful because I want to be doing this, but I've got to be sensible. And also there's a bit of gameplay because if you let other people go on ahead of you, although you get them the FOMO, they're hitting the bumps in the road that little bit quicker and feeding back. So it doesn't hurt to do that either. But I'm really looking forward to doing it. This work in the middle is really interesting me and I think it's going to be beautiful. It's very open gauge in this. I have got my yarn here. There we go. I have got 2 skeins that I've already pre-wound ready. That looks really bright on screen and it's not as bright as that. It's quite an irregular Malabrigo dyed, so it's not a solid. I've made a note here because I've got rid of the ball bands. I don't know if they've gone, but I got these from the Stitch Witch shop in Market Raisin where I teach at. And it's a Malabrigo sock 4-ply and it's called Light of Love and it's a superwash merino fibre. And I'm going to be holding 1 strand Malabrigo with 1 strand of the Kid Silk Mohair. So this is the drops Kid Silk Mohair. So I think this will just quieten this down just a little bit. And I think it'll look absolutely beautiful. I have done a swatch already. I think it looks really nice. But I just need to now get on with this, which I'm really excited about. But I have to be patient. I have to manage my excitement. My husband's very strict with me about what he's doing when and making sure he's looking at me and looking at me right now. But, making sure that I'm going to hit those goalposts because he knows I'll be mardy else. And I will do it. I'm excited. So then that will take me to the end of January. So all the sweaters will be out of the way. Did I show you last time? Oh, I have got another finished object, haven't I? My Fair Isle sweater. I showed you last time I was still working on it because I was saying about all the sleeves needing to be done. The Fair Isle sweater, I'll pop a picture in so you can see it. That was all finished. That's absolutely stunning. I love that. That's in the Rico. I can't remember what the fibre was now. Was it an alpaca? Oh my God, it's thick. Beautiful and warm. So that was all done as well. So that means I've got Mum's Coffee Run, Dad's Ingrid sweater, and the Dahlia, which isn't even cast on yet. This is done. Kathy's Christmas present is done. I did have another friend's knit to do, but we spoke about it. It's her birthday in March, and because I got picked for the Dahlia sweater, she said, take the pressure off, Luce. Give it to me for my birthday. So thank you so much, Jeanette. I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, that's everything done. All the balls in the air are being caught by me. Yay! The only purchases, this is what I was going to come back to, although I didn't go to Harrogate. My friend Sarah went to Copenhagen and she went to Knitting for Olive and she rang me from outside the shop. The signal was terrible, but we don't care. I got very excited. She took me into the shop. I was screenshotting our conversation. I spoke to one of the ladies in the shop. I mean, she just thought I was probably a bit crazy, but nonetheless. And then there were all these samples of sweaters all around the shop. So I was saying, oh, please show me, please show me. So her husband was like taking me around on the phone so I could see. And then I saw a sweater that I really liked. And I said, please, can you find out how much the yarn is for that? And before I knew it, bought and on the way back to England for me. So I get that tomorrow, which I'm very, very excited about. But again, got to show some restraint and I will be good. That will wait until my next video. I'll be able to show you the yarn. And then hopefully, so are we November? I won't podcast in December because that will be my sewing because I alternate sewing and knitting from one month to the next. So December will be sewing. So in January, I'll be able to show you that yarn and hopefully we'll be ready to get it onto the needles. That's all I've bought. I've been a really, really, really good girl recently. So thank you for staying with me today. It's a good time to say Happy Christmas, isn't it? Because, you know, we're nearly in December. Thank you for staying with me today. If you've enjoyed what I've had to say today and all the things that you have seen, please do stay in touch with me by liking and subscribing on this channel. And of course, follow me on social media. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.